Hey guys, and welcome back to the Floor Chapstick Podcast. It is episode 6, and due to unforeseen circumstances, this is actually the B-roll episode of our little special podcast that we got going here. We explained it a couple times throughout the podcast that I think I ended up cutting out, but the laptop that we used to record had to go through a couple updates while we were in the middle of a time crunch kind of situation for recording. So really, we didn't have a whole lot of time to try and fix the issues that were going on. So what I did was I took what we did have recorded, both from our phones and when I finally got Pro Tools up and running. I took that and kind of cut it up, and then I threw in a lot of the B-roll at the end. So what you'll hear is about a half hour of us just kind of talking with our guest for this week, and the other half is going to be stuff from the past month or so of just us before the actual episode starts, and, you know, stuff that you don't always get to hear. Some for good reasons, some for bad. We'll try and keep it as clean as possible, but we'll see where it goes. So enjoy, and hopefully this episode doesn't suck.
And welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Floor Chapstick Podcast. I'm here usually with Austin.
That's me.
And this week, actually, we have another guest in, my buddy Kevin from the good old Improv of Chicago.
Which is actually in Schaumburg.
Yeah, actually in Scumberg. We're doing a little bit different this week. We're actually going to record on our phones because the computer's been giving us some issues. Therefore, if it sounds a little different, a little off this week, bear with us.
We even hear this if it ends up actually working for us, or if it just ends up being tossed out the window.
Right.
It's bring your mic to work day.
And if it ends up being shit, we'll just have Austin chop up some B-roll and we'll release that.
The B-roll episode.
This might be the B-roll episode. Yeah, we're 6 weeks in and we can't figure a shit out.
Yeah. You can't really blame us for having the laptop just automatically need an update. It can't just wait a couple
No, it's just Skynet being bullshit. I think
it's the machines they're taking over.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know, if you lock your phone when you have an iPhone, it still records.
Yeah, but I have an Android.
Well, that's because you're a bitch.
Well, fuck you.
I was mainly talking to Kevin here.
Yeah, good, because I keep trying to tap it to wake it up.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if mine keeps recording. It should keep recording. I don't think that it wouldn't, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Alright, so this episode
is brought to you. This episode is brought to you by, again, absolutely fucking nobody. Again, if you're listening and you want to sponsor us, just go ahead, reach out. I'll give you my Cash App or my Venmo.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Or PayPal, whatever you want to do.
Anything you want to help out the show, give us a little bit of confidence in what we're doing.
Yeah, right.
It'd be sick if when they heard you say that, if Cash App sponsored you, and then you can kind of say you have that Joe Rogan money.
We don't have that Joe Rogan money, but...
Dude, if I had that Joe Rogan money, fuck.
I wouldn't have to wait for a computer to update.
Exactly. I'd have this shit I'd have an entire setup already here, just staying here.
If I had that Joe Rogan money, I would pay my homeowner to let me build soundproof it and build it into an actual studio here.
That would be nice. Well, we should just get little hooks, hanging hooks, and hang them from the little...
Yeah, I could do that.
Say that you can get a lot of the foam and stuff for pretty cheap.
So.
I could also ask Danny if him and the band have some extra soundproofing stuff too.
I gotta soundproof my home studio just because I haven't been recording. I haven't needed it, but now that I start recording more people, including myself, it's just damn near impossible to record in my room right now.
Yeah. It's pretty hard. Kevin.
Yeah.
So, we weren't actually planning on having Kevin on this week at all. Kevin walked up to me at work the other day. He's like, yeah, so I've got time this weekend if you're down. And I was like, fuck. All right, whatever.
We were recording an episode. You didn't have anyone. I was like, well, fuck it. I don't do shit that's not in the morning, so...
I mean, hey, it's working so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's working so far. And the computer's it's moved...
24%. It's moved 24% in the past, I call it 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes or so, yeah. It's been great.
Yeah, it's definitely not a hassle any bit whatsoever.
No, but I'm real... Before we get into that, thing you wanted to talk about here. I got the show I've been talking about on the 28th. I've been talking to Kevin off air about it, and Austin, I've been talking to you on air about it a few times. But I created a Facebook event. First of all, I created a Facebook event for it. It's by my comedy page. Go on there. Even if you're not going, just share it. Hit interested, whatever. It gets more, it spreads across the algorithm. It gets more people to see it, whatever. I appreciate it. But the thing is, I have to do a 35-minute comedy set when I only have 15 minutes prepared in front of a crowd that's there for a rap show. Yeah, and not only I'm not opening the show, I'm going up after a rap artist. So it's me, it's rap artist, me, rest of rap artists.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an awkward little setup they got there.
Yeah, very. And like I requested, like, I told the booker, I was like, yo, is there any way you can like rearrange this to let me go first, or just have me like host the evening in general? Give me time in between artists to come up with some stuff and whatever, introduce some stuff like that. And he just didn't respond. And I'm thinking about pulling out of the show, but right now with the way ticket sales have been for like the show overall, I don't think I should, because the VIP, it's funny, he set up general admission and VIP. General admission is $8, and VIP is funny because the way he set up the VIP is he made it like he made it as if we're like a lot more well known than we really are.
You're actually relevant.
Yeah, he said it at VIPs are $10, and you get stage access during the cake cutting and birthday celebration, and you get pictures and autographs with the artist and comic after the show. It's like, dude, I don't want to stick around until midnight for this. Like, I'm gonna go up there, do my 35, and get off and go home, and or do another show. But the thing is, I don't know how well I'm going to do. I haven't had time to hit any mics. I haven't done any prepping. I've just been writing a lot. I haven't had any time to practice and see what hits and what doesn't hit. So I think the first 15, I'm just going to do my main set, do whatever, I have prepared, everything like that. And then the last 20, I'm just going to do crowd work and just off the cuff kind of stuff. And
try and wing it.
Yeah, and work on the stuff.
We're doing now.
Yeah, work on pull jokes that I've written that I don't know if are hitters or not,
Yeah.
or for something I need to get rid of, something like that.
Well, you know what they say, hit or miss. I guess they never miss, huh?
When Austin opens TikTok, that R. Kelly song plays, Bump and Grind plays by R. Kelly in his head. It's like, my mind's telling me no.
I'm not auto-tuning it again.
No, you don't have to. That was good. I hit that note perfectly. Last night, Kevin and I harmonized pretty well in the back hallway of the Woodfield Mall.
Garbage compactor, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Well, let me just say
We got a
something.
quartet of rats to sing along with.
Yeah, for real. Rat and his tuies.
Let me... Fuck off.
You had a question, actually,
Yes. This
that
is
you
a
posed.
question- I actually got this question from a Q&A from a YouTuber I watch. It is, when you, what is an album that you really love sonically? Like, it sounds great, and it's just something that it's really, really well put together musically, but the writing itself just doesn't speak to you, or you don't think the writing's all that good. And the same goes vice versa. What's a song that you love the writing and you love the composition of the music, it just kind of sounds not up to par. Because the thing that made me think about, something that I thought about a lot, I love musically, but sonically I'm not a huge fan. It's actually my favorite album, Injustice for All, from Metallica. I absolutely adore that album, but the way it was mixed, mastered, the tone, I love the tone, but it's just the way it worked for the album, it could have been better. But again, the songwriting is just some of my favorite they've ever done, so I can't really hate on them too much,
Yeah, I can understand that. I've been thinking a lot about that since you texted me the other day, and I have yet to really nail down an album that, I would say I feel that specific way about. Probably The Life of Pablo by Kanye West.
Okay.
I very much enjoy that song. The that album sonically, not so much lyrically. Some of the songs are very good lyrically.
Yeah.
But I heard a lot of the pre-edited stuff that he did. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
And Chance had a big production part in that too. And I heard his production of Waves before Kanye cut it, and it was just a choir. And I love hip hop with like choirs in the background and soul kind of. It was really soulful and more jazz-ish, and I really liked that.
Yeah, I feel like these questions are kind of hard to come up with an answer sort of off the cuff, or off the cuff.
Yeah, especially since you got told right when you got here.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not just that. It's just like I feel like this is very much one of those situations that like I could answer in the moment, like hearing the album.
Yeah,
like that I feel that way about.
Yes.
Yeah, I hear it and it's just like, oh hey, wish this was better, but it sounds great. Like I feel like it's more common to encounter that situation than just being able to like know in your head like, oh hey, this sounds good, but it's terrible lyrically, or hey, this song has great lyrics, but the music is absolutely dog shit. Like, I just can't name something like that off the cuff.
Okay, then in that case, what is the worst album you've ever listened to?
Ooh.
Oh. Starting to burn some bridges now.
Worst album? Probably that free U2 album that Apple put on everyone's phone.
Yeah, that shit was so bad.
Remember that?
That was pretty shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that the album itself was actually shit or just the rage of having it put on my phone.
Yeah.
It was definitely a little bit of both.
Yeah,
I woke up one morning, I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't even like
I think it's the
U2.
only album I've ever truly hated.
Yeah. I mean, there's some that I'm very much not a fan of. I think it's mainly a lot of the music that I don't like. It's either because I don't like the band. Like there could be an entire album that's really good, but if I dislike the band's other stuff, I'll have that in my head. Like, oh, this isn't that great.
Anything by Avenged Sevenfold.
See, that's
my answer.
That's kind of the same thing with me. Like, I like a lot of their stuff sonically, but I think a lot of their writing is weak.
I do not like that genre of music. I don't like that black metal.
It's not black metal.
I'm saying I don't like that kind of music. I think I think if you loop Evanescence in with that kind of music, like Asking Alexandria and stuff like that, then no, I don't like that kind of music. Yeah, I don't.
If you're talking about metal as a whole, then yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, but like that kind of metal, not my thing. Riot Fest, not my thing. Like that kind of.
Some broad strokes here, but I kind of get where the territory you're venturing into is, and
it's more.
When it comes to the metal genre, I'm more of like a dip my foot in the pool and like Metallica, Evanescence, and like I wouldn't even consider Seether.
90% of what I enjoy as far as metal goes was made decades before I was born. So
for the most part, yeah.
I think Metallica. Oh, like I enjoy Iron Maiden and Volbeat.
My favorite Metallica album is actually Kill 'Em All, their first one.
Volbeat, what'd you say?
My favorite album from Metallica is Kill 'Em All, their first one.
I think that's their worst album.
My favorite album?
Yeah, absolutely.
My favorite album is so fucking stereotypical.
Because it's more of like the old school sort of thrash metal.
Oh, it's absolutely pure thrash, and that's like that's the basis of what Metallica was.
I mean, there's I forgot the name of it. There's one song on that album that I fucking hate, but the rest of the album is solid. I used to listen to that a lot when I was playing Call of Duty World War II.
My favorite.
No specific reason other than it just pumped me up.
Yeah.
My favorite album by Metallica is so fucking generic and what everyone always.
The Black Album.
No.
Master of Puppets.
No. It's Ride the Lightning.
I mean, that is up there for a lot of people. Like that's up there for their favorite '80s album. But
that's definitely my favorite '80s album for sure.
But that's.
No, Escape by Journey is my favorite '80s album actually.
That's a solid album.
That's a fucking great album. That's where all their hits came from.
Yeah, if we're going for my favorite album overall from the '80s, it's got to be Appetite.
By Guns N' Roses? Yeah, that's a good one, yeah.
I mean, of course, And Justice for All is my favorite album, period, but if you're going by genre, I mean, it sounds counterintuitive, but Appetite is just that little bit higher up there for me.
Alright, now let's go into that. Kevin, what's your favorite 80s album? We're going to go 80s until now. Kevin, while you think, awesome, favorite 90s album?
Favorite 90s album has got to be... 10 by Pearl Jam.
Okay.
Because I mean that's by far one of my favorite albums. Period. Because I think I had it in my top 5. I think it was like number 3 for my favorite album, or maybe number 2 all time. So Yeah, absolutely 10.
My favorite album, 90s album, is Dookie.
Dookie is really good.
Dookie's a good album.
It's my favorite 90s album.
That was in
the
my
Dookie
honorable
album.
mentions too.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
That is a very good album. I mean, you could also, even though I'm not a huge fan of them, Nevermind was a great album from Nirvana.
Yes, it was.
I mean, I'm not a huge Nirvana fan. I feel like they're a bit overrated for what they were, but I can't deny that was just a really solid album overall.
Yeah, it was. Kevin, you got your 80s album? You got 80s and 90s now.
What's your favorite 90s?
I said Dookie.
Oh, yeah, duh. Shit.
Okay, so for 80s album, I'm going to go with Back in Black, AC/DC.
Okay.
Really good. What was that, 80 or 81?
It's 82.
Was it 82?
Yeah, I think so.
It might have even been 83.
No, I don't think it was that early. I wanted to say it was 81 at the very latest, but I don't know. See, I can name the 80s and 90s like my favorite albums. If you get me to the 2000s, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not.
It gets difficult there.
I think for me, it has to be probably Misery. Not Misery.
Okay, so I
Riot.
figured out my 90s album too. It's Blood Sugar Sex Magic, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's a solid album. That's a solid choice.
That came out in the 90s? I thought that was early 2000s.
That was a 90s album.
Yeah.
My favorite 2000s album is Songs About Jane by Maroon 5.
Really, the problem is I can only listen to 3 songs now.
Kevin's look at his face when he saw Austin's hair.
What?
He was like, what the fuck?
No, that's not what that was.
My hair is fucking a mess.
Yeah.
You see it?
Didn't expect it to be blue though.
Yeah.
That I didn't expect.
Yeah. No, it was blonde 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Oh, gotcha.
I had to get
A
rid
little,
of it.
little bit of variety. I feel you.
Yeah. My roots were growing out like crazy. It was like an 1.5 growth in a month. And I'm like, I am not dealing with the roots.
Back to the topic here.
Yeah.
Back to our discussion. Yeah, Songs About Jane, Maroon 5.
If I could listen to more than 3 songs off that album without getting bored, I would absolutely agree. Why the fuck is this still at 27%?
It's been like...
It has easily been 15 minutes since I said it was at 24%.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, if I could listen to, like... Because really the only song that I genuinely really, really like that I could put on a playlist of me just listening to is This Love. The rest of them are just solid. They're okay.
I want you to go home tonight and listen to Sunday Morning, and actually my favorite album on that song, favorite song on that album is Through With You. I love the guitar in that song.
Honestly, I haven't listened to the album in probably about 5 years.
I think that's one of my favorite albums sonically, Songs About Jane.
It's a good album for sure. I think that that was the height of Adam Levine's voice too.
Yeah.
Like his voice just was overall the best on that album from the rest of their
Favorite
shit.
2010s album though. Oh, you got 2000. Oh, you got 2000s too. Oh no, you said Riot by Paramore.
Riot by Paramore, which apparently 2000s and 2010s are Paramore for me because Riot and After Laughter are my 2000s
Okay.
and 2010s.
Okay, so
You got 2000.
This isn't an album mostly because I'm spacing on any of his albums, but usually for 2000s, my solid pick is anything involving 50 Cent.
Fair enough.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I like that. My favorite 50 Cent song is definitely Many Men. It's like it's like many men wish death upon me.
I don't know offhand. I honestly
I gotta hold on.
name you a 50 song off the top of my head. Like,
What? Not even Candy Shop? Come on now.
Oh, that's true. I don't know. I hear a lot of his shit, and my parents know a lot of it, and I grew up around it, like my parents having it in the house, but I just...
Yeah, it's called Many Men. That's my favorite is 50 Cent. Oh, and 21 Questions. Those two songs are good.
Yeah, I mean, you play songs for me, I'll be able to be like, oh yeah, that's a good song. Oh, I know that song. Yeah, all that, but I honestly could not tell you offhand.
My
Are you
favorite...
trying to take my idea now?
Yeah.
Too bad yours doesn't have a flat top.
No, but mine has a pop socket, so I can figure something out with it.
My favorite 2010 album is going to be... Actually, I'm switching up my 90s album.
Yeah.
I'm changing my 90s album. It's Dookie. Dookie's a close second, but the first one, number one, is Under the Table and Dreaming by Dave Matthews.
Okay, yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh shit. When did To Pimp a Butterfly come out?
2012.
Then that might edge out After Laughter for me. I think I gotta go with To Pimp a Butterfly.
2000. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that until I thought I saw. I don't know if I saw you scrolling past it or if it just popped into my head, but yeah, because that.
I'm trying to find it. I don't remember what it's called.
I Now that we got up to the 2010s, do you have a favorite 70s album?
Oh shit! Hold on. Let me get my 2010s first, and then we'll go back.
For 2010s, I'm gonna say it's a toss-up between Doris by Earl Sweatshirt and Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick Lamar.
That one's really good too.
Yeah.
For me, it's gonna be a toss-up between Blonde by Frank Ocean and To Pimp a Butterfly.
That started at
No.
Grand Theft Auto Radio.
Blonde and Damn.
Damn was good.
Damn was.
Really like
I can't listen to anything by Damn anymore because I listened to it 6 times in one day when it came out. Overplayed it. I can't listen to anything but off of it anymore. I don't want to listen to anything off of it anymore.
You know, I have the limited edition clear vinyl that they sold that was like hand numbered and everything.
Really?
Yeah, I bought it. I got number like 160 out of 500. I was like right there.
I have a green vinyl and a teal colored vinyl in storage.
I got a bunch of vinyl that's like all of my Paramore records are special edition. I have a couple special edition Metallica. I think all my Green Day albums are. All my vinyl are a special color. Since I like vinyl, I'm gonna buy it no matter what. But if I can find a good deal on the colored one, I just think it looks nicer on the fucking.
It gives you something to look
player.
at.
Yeah. Because I wanted to buy When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go when it came out from Billie Eilish.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't feel like spending $30 minimum for the lime green neon one.
Right, yeah.
It's like, I'll wait.
Well, that's another thing. I've been listening to like a lot of like vaporwave and like future funk and like some of that like outrun like retrowave stuff.
Yeah.
And I've been watching like some YouTube videos and stuff that go along with it. And there's this one YouTuber, or Pad Chennington, who's got a video, but there's supposedly this vaperawave vinyl.
Pad Chennington?
Yeah, that's
like
his,
Chad Pennington. Like
yeah.
Okay.
It's like his YouTube channel.
Okay.
That's what it's called. And he's got a video which I haven't watched yet. Supposedly there's some vaporwave vinyl that sold for like $500,000.
Oof, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Supposedly there's only one copy though. That's why.
You know what I actually forgot about until now? Have you guys heard of what was it? The Avalanches or something like that?
Yes.
Oh my God! Oh, you were in Red Orca Music, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I found out about them. They are the craziest, coolest little group because all their songs are made from samples.
Oh,
Like,
Frankie Sinatra.
Yeah.
I love that
Well,
song.
it's kinda like,
So cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like what vaporwave and future funk does. There's a lot of those songs that are samples. Like with vaporwave, there's like a lot of samples like old like 80s pop songs,
Yeah.
and then they like slow them down
Well,
or they
these
chop
guys,
them.
yeah, these guys they do the same thing except for it's just from like random shit. Like it's
Yeah.
like from movies and
Well,
stuff like that. Where it's purely that.
the more obscure you go, like some of the future funk and like vaporwave songs, they'll take like Japanese pop from like the 80s and they'll sample that.
Yeah.
They'll like sample like anime theme songs and stuff like that, and then they'll chop and screw those, and then they'll slow them down, and then they'll make some
I
interesting
completely
things.
forgot.
I got my 70s album when you guys are ready.
Okay, I just gotta say something that I found out really recently that, I mean, I knew that it was there, but I never really paid attention, is that Slipknot back in the day, like their first 2 or 3 albums, they had a lot of samples and a lot of like really cool clips that they took from stuff to add to their songs, like the more like avant-garde type deal. I never thought about it. I'm like, holy shit, they have a lot of like electronic kind of sampled shit in their music from then. It's really interesting. That's why they broke in the way that they did. I was super like confused when I heard that people were saying that.
And I've heard things along that line, but Slipknot's one of those things I could just never really get into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't get
definitely
into
an
them
acquired
until about
taste.
3 years ago. Like when I was younger, when I was supposed to be into them, I was telling Nate the same thing about pop punk. When I was supposed to be into it, quote unquote,
Right.
I never was. But
That's
as
how it
soon
was
as
with
I
Tyler
grew
the
up-
Creator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot. There's a lot of artists that I'm like that I was like.
Yeah, I didn't really get into like Tyler the Creator and all that until like a couple years after. Like when he really blew up, that was like the 2009, like 2010 range.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Real quick,
Whoa.
this actually works out perfectly that it's only still at 27%. Because I actually have to leave in 29 minutes, and in 29 minutes we'll be just at about an hour.
Okay, for sure.
So we'll throw in some B-roll at the end still, I think.
We'll kind
just
of chop it up, see how it works. If
Yeah.
the files don't end up working, you guys might never hear this unless for some reason we put this in part of
Yeah, right.
You know?
But continue. Sorry, I hate to interrupt. I was just letting you guys know.
It should be fine. Date.
70s album.
Yeah, 70s.
Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
1973.
1973.
I think it came out in the 70s. Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
I think that came out 75.
No. That came out during Nam.
Yeah, Nam was in the 70s.
Yeah, Nam ended 74, I think. I could be wrong though.
I'm not 100%.
I'm pretty sure 74. So if I were to guess, I want to say, that album I want to guess was 73.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
I just know that
Early 70s.
Black Sabbath started coming into their own at that point.
Yeah.
What's your guess? 73?
73.
What's your guess?
That was like 75, 76.
1970.
Oh shit! I was
closer.
I was almost too.
I wanted to say
too
70,
late.
but I thought that was too far back.
My favorite Sabbath album is either Paranoid or Master of Reality.
That's the problem that I had, because I think I had Paranoid on my top 5 as well. Which, I mean, I realized I have a lot of different decades on my top 5. But it was either between that or Masters of Reality.
Bro, Sabbath.
It's a great album.
Sabbath released 2 albums in 1970.
Mm-hmm.
They released their first debut album, and then they released Paranoid.
Yeah, no, Sabbath, they were some ballers.
They were definitely the pioneers of true heavy metal, not hard rock, but actual heavy metal. It was super cool to watch. The progression.
You can say hard rock too, though, because there's a lot of those influences in hard rock.
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, they were the first.
They were one of the trailblazers of the genre.
Yeah,
dude, they've basically released an album up until they stopped releasing albums in '92, and then they released 13, and they released the album 13, number 13 in 2013.
Paranoid for me for my '70s album.
No, I stole Paranoid.
Oh, you sold Paranoid?
Yeah, he said Goodbye Yellow Brick.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So wait, hold on. So from 1978 till 1992, for 22 years, they were consistently putting out an album every 1 to 2 years.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
That's fucking absolutely nuts, dude.
Have an idea for music, and guys who were high as shit all the time.
For real, man.
Yeah, I mean, people...
If I was, look at Ozzy now, dude. I'm probably gonna be like that when I'm his age, dude.
Look at, if you want to talk about crazy, look at the Beatles. They released 12 albums from 1963 to 1970.
I know, it's insane.
You can track their progression as artists as the years progress. Each album is almost, it's almost different. Genre-wise, from the album.
They went from a boy band to a rock and roll group.
Being fucking straight up stoner bullshit.
The early '60s was a lot more of the bubblegum, trippy.
I wanna hold your
psychedelic rock. Yeah.
No, that was late '70s, late '60s, early '70s was the trippy shit, and then mid '70s to early '80s was.
They were broken up by 1970.
Yeah.
Were they?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were doing that Nam shit in the '70s, dude.
Let It Be was released in 1970. That was their last album.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Beatles set the stage for what would be Woodstock, and Woodstock was in '69.
Wasn't John doing all his fucking Nam shit throughout the '70s?
Yeah, not Paul and
fucking fucking communist.
Nam went from 64 to 74, 75.
Yeah,
it was a
we lost.
It's one of those things.
I love making that joke, dude, because you go up to those right-wing hardcore Americans, we've won every war. Nam, bitch.
Well, if you look at it, I was gonna say, if you want to really,
no, it was a conflict that we stuck our noses into. We had no part into it, and that's why we have a heroin problem.
Oh, hey, look, we're at 86% now. We might actually have part of this podcast that's well recorded.
But that's one of those things, though, if you really look at it from the historical perspective, you can't really truly say we won or lost. It was one of those things it was a thing, and then we just decided it wasn't.
Same with World War II.
Korea. Korea isn't over. We just have an armistice.
Yeah. Technically, we really didn't win World War II either.
Well, we sure as hell helped win.
So we sure as hell didn't lose either.
Yeah, right.
Fucking take that, you
Enough with the racism.
Oh, I was so happy when I got that bleep to fit so perfect.
I know. I heard it. I was like,
I had to cut out part of your audio because you could hear my echo in your mic.
Yeah.
I had to completely.
I was like, oh. No, he did it. I heard it and I texted him right afterwards. I was like, oh my god. And he was like, what about it?
Yeah, I'm like, what? You got a problem? You don't like me bleeping out me saying that. I'm not gonna say it again because I already have to censor it once, or I already have to cut it out once.
Dude, he said some like hardcore shit before we started rolling last week, and I was.
It's in B-roll. It's in B-roll.
Oh God.
I feel like doesn't get said enough.
Don't get said.
Yeah, no, I'm terrible at speaking today. You can almost tell that I woke up at 7:15 this morning. So
The water's turning the frogs gay.
The frogs are turning the water gay.
But anyways, I was gonna say like a left field one is Left Overture by Kansas.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I
That's
fucking
solid choice.
hate Kansas.
You don't like Kansas? What?
Fucking get out. I don't care if this is your house. Get out.
The only time I enjoy Kansas if I'm watching old school. I saw Kansas
No,
live.
You know what made me reappreciate Kansas was, you ever watch the show Supernatural?
Yes.
I know of it, but I haven't watched it.
Well, Supernatural.
Ryan's gonna love that we're talking about that.
Yeah. No, Supernatural is a great
there's
show.
another Ryan
But
mention.
they pull in a lot of like classic rock when they do like songs for episodes and stuff like that. But like a series tradition that I think kind of started on accident but became a thing for the series is like the fandom grew.
Mhm.
Is every season for the season finale they play "Carry On My Wayward Son" as the intro to the episode.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And it like the entire episode, like when they play "Carry On My Wayward Son," is actually like a season recap for the finale.
Okay.
Just to like show like all the crucial things, like what led up, and then they do like the sick montage with "Carry On My Wayward Son." It's actually pretty neat.
This might take several minutes.
Yeah, even though you just took fucking a half hour plus.
Yeah,
Right.
Windows is the worst when it comes to progress bars.
It's fucking trash. Speaking of Ryan, we need to get him on here because he'd be fun.
You know, he was talking to me the other day. He was asking me if there was any way that we could get him on here through like a phone call or
Discord
like a
Skype or something.
Yeah, Discord or Skype or Visco.
Visco. What the fuck is Visco?
I don't know.
Visual supply company. It was like
Say hi. Say the. You know what the plural of hydro flask is?
Hydro flasks?
Hydro flasks.
Yeah.
Hydro flasks.
Hydro flasks.
what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
That's the Visco girls. They got their like scrunchies and hydro flasks.
Oh yeah.
Austin gets it.
I'm not talking about the
I was
TikTok
confused. Like, how the fuck did that get brought up?
Yeah, no.
These updates help protect you in an online world, Austin.
I want to see how all that picks up on my phone.
It picked up on mine. That was almost like Patrick, yeah. Dude, fucking Pat.
Alright, so, anyway, the whole point I was just saying is that I think he would be fun to have on here. We just need to figure out an easy way to do it without it sounding like shit, which I think Discord would be a bit better than Skype.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be just an entire episode of me talking shit about him and roasting the fuck out of him.
I mean, he wouldn't not appreciate it.
No, the homeowner doesn't want him in the house anymore.
Well, he wouldn't be in. He's not.
Yeah, no, I'm saying even if he came into town and like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The homeowner. But what were you saying, Visco?
Oh yeah. So it started off, to the best of my knowledge, it started off as like just a small photo editor for the phone, and it kind of took off into their own platform.
Gotcha.
So the way it kind of works is, if you want to edit a photo using their service, you like upload it to them, like onto their service, and then it functions as sort of an editor, and then when you're done, you can post it on like your actual Visco profile.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. We might actually have something to record now. Let's try.
So
With 18 minutes left.
All it really is the TLDR version of it is that it's Instagram but with a more photo and less social emphasis.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is fucking ridiculous. We actually have Pro Tools working out, so it did need the update.
Jesus criminy.
Well, guys, you might hear this, you might not. Otherwise, we're gonna be on actually good mics now, so we'll keep talking while I get this set up.
Yeah, that sounds good. But yeah, dude, no.
So yeah,
It's
depending on how you want to look at it, Visco could be either considered the boneless Instagram or Instagram could be considered the boneless Visco.
Gotcha. That's all I know about Visco is the fucking Visco girls, where they're just the basic ass white bitches essentially.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. And there's a lot of that. Visco to me is honestly like what
AIDS is to you, Magic Johnson.
No, Visco is the photography. What I feel like SoundCloud is to rapping.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The new no, SoundCloud to rapping now, dude, it's a new come up. Like, look at artists like Chance the Rapper,
What is
Lil
now what it wasn't
Uzi.
at first. Like, we all know that one person who's a borderline crackhead and just says, "Oh, click my SoundCloud link and support my music."
Sometimes I still think SoundCloud has that stigma.
Yeah, it definitely does still carry that stigma because it was a big part of the
is
rap
that.
community.
Yeah, especially
it still is that.
yeah, especially as a creator myself, ourselves, like.
Wow, way to exclude me.
Shut the fuck up.
Thanks. Really appreciate that. Let's see. So we got this. I think we're getting it. Okay, are we getting? Oh, we're getting audio. We're getting audio.
All right.
It looks like, yeah, so this week I actually don't have headphones that I can use, so I'm just going to be using, are we getting audio from my mic too?
A readout and check yours real quick.
Are we getting a readout here as well?
Let me turn yours up.
Are we getting a readout?
Oh,
We
it's
might be
so
getting a readout
professional.
here. Oh my god, we're so unprofessional. This is ridiculous, man.
Just a little bit. I don't know what you're talking about. I think we're
Hey,
we're
man.
beautiful. We're
It's part of the
golden.
growth.
Yeah, oh yeah. Okay. So I think we're good. Let's turn ourselves down just.
Are we good? Oh my goodness, this has been so unprofessional.
Oh, buddy.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
and
goodness.
We are rolling.
I think we're
Alright.
rolling. Oh, all right, we're getting off the
yeah.
phones here.
So we are
Just hit
finally
done.
back on our Pro Tools setup. We are all good to go.
My phone doesn't want
If
to stop
things
recording.
decide
There
that they
we
want
go.
to actually load.
Yeah, it's
fire
kind of
away.
bullshit. Like,
Are we getting any sort of audio readout?
we're not getting any sort of audio readout.
Oh no, we are good
Oh,
to
we're
go,
good to
baby.
go. Here we
All
go.
right.
We're fucking in
Hell
it.
yeah. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, so we finally have a setup going, like normal. Are you hearing me through the headphones? All right. wait.
I'm not.
Let's see. Are we going?
Try and
we
turn it
are
up on
good.
your. Try and turn it up
Yeah,
on your.
Look at that. We are
Okay, look
good
at
to
that.
go.
Are you
Yeah,
hearing
we're
me too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. All right.
Cool.
Well, with 15 minutes to go, we finally got our equipment up. So it looks
Oof.
like the majority of this podcast will be from
our
last,
phones.
Yeah, from our phones, and maybe a little bit of the last 5 weeks in there.
Yeah,
You know,
just
we'll
a
throw
couple
some-
minutes of B-roll if I can get it all going.
because I feel like the people need to hear it sometimes.
Oh man, I feel like we should just open up the B-roll with my Billie Eilish cover. That shit's my favorite.
Oh my god.
Who doesn't
What
love
if she liked your post?
Dude, I would have fucking died.
You know what's funny? When I post on like the podcast Instagram or about mine, and I use specific hashtags on topics that we talked about, I get more likes and more listens.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm
well, that's
thinking
why
about
if you look
doing
at
that
any of
more.
my posts, I have about like 30
Yeah,
hashtags, or I try to.
I just hit return a whole bunch.
Yeah.
And then like I'll put hit return period, return period, and then I'll use all the hashtags at the bottom and shit.
Exactly. Let's see. So,
Is it okay for me to hold my mic like this?
I don't give a shit. Doesn't change
It's
anything
not like
to me.
sounding like all fucking.
No, even if I
Yeah.
like move my shit
I'm
around, you won't
actually
really hear me.
Not hearing anything through that phone.
Uh, You gotta. Is the audio? Oh, let me edit. Let me bring you back
Oh my
up.
God.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay,
I hear it now.
Cool.
Okay, Jesus.
So professional. Wow.
Dude, what is wrong with us, man?
I don't know. Something I actually wanted to talk about. This is actually good
It's
timing
the curse
because
of
this is
taking last week, the
Yeah.
2 weeks off, a week off.
So something I want to talk about, since I know that it's going to be a big topic, and I know that we would get shit if we didn't talk about Andrew Luck's retirement.
Fuck that guy, and I'm just kidding.
I am gonna miss Andrew Luck so much.
Hey.
I feel so bad for him because he got shit on for 7 years behind a god awful offensive line, shit ass defense, and one receiver. It's like the guy couldn't catch a break, and now he's getting shit on for retiring when he can't do it anymore. It's like Jim Irsay and fucking what's his face, the GM while he was there for most of the time. They fucked him over.
I think they fucked him over, but I also think him retiring at this age is very smart. He's 29. He's
Oh,
the
absolutely.
smartest. He's probably one of the most, if not the most intelligent guy to ever step foot on a football field. He went to Stanford. He's got that
Yep.
engineering degree. He's going to do great things. That he doesn't have to pay back that $24.08 million.
Yeah, they didn't take that back
which
from him.
is fucking humble as fuck for Jimmy Irsay to do, because Jimmy
Yeah.
Irsay is a money-hungry, grubbing bitch.
Yeah, piece of
But
shit.
it's just, I don't know, dude. I think Andrew Luck retiring was very, very smart.
Yeah, I mean, his body couldn't take it. I think he's gonna be back in a year. Honestly, I think he's gonna be doing the Jason Witten thing. I don't see him being gone for too much longer. But I mean, if he stays retired, hey, that's all
I think the only quarterback that will ever come back out of retirement will be Josh McCown. And he's with the Eagles again.
You mean you don't think it's going to be Brett Favre?
Brett Favre is coming back for another.
I think if any quarterback better than Josh McCown that's going to come back that's recently retired will come back. I can't think of one. I don't think Romo's going to come back. Romo's
done. He's done.
He's too good in the studio.
Yeah. Well, you could have said the same thing for a lot of guys who would be good in the studio but didn't go in. No.
The linebacker for the 49ers. He played for the University of Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
He was a fucking beast, and then he retired after his rookie year.
Yeah. That was right. That was right when the 49ers started to suck because everyone was retiring or leaving.
That whole defense basically retired.
Yeah.
Patrick Willis.
So same with their offensive line. They a lot of their guys left.
Yeah, Joe Staley.
Yep.
Dude, I remember when Patrick Willis retired, I was actually sad. I enjoyed watching him play.
Yeah, well, when I read that, I was like, oh, that's the same kind of reaction I had with Andrew Luck retiring. Of course, when Andrew Luck retired, I was high as shit, so I was a little bit more like, I wasn't really that high, but I was high, so I was just like, I wasn't able to process it until I started, going on the come down, but still.
Would you say you're a Colts fan?
No, not at all. I just really like Andrew Luck. I've liked him since he came into the league.
Speaking of, the day of this recording, the day of this recording, 10 days till kickoff.
Yes.
The day you're hearing this is either 10 days till kickoff or 9 days till kickoff.
It should be.
I upload it.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, we should. If you just give me the sign-in information, I can upload the shit directly.
I don't know the password.
God damn it. How do you not know the password?
Because it's just been... Oh, fuck. I'm going to have to reset the password to log in. And I'm going to have to reset the password to the email that I used.
Honestly, that's probably par for the course at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty average for what we ended up doing.
Especially since I had to give back the laptop I was using to upload, so...
Yeah, well, speaking of getting shit on, this morning, Doug Gottlieb, actually, was it this morning? What day is it? Actually, no, this was 2 days ago. He tweeted, retiring because rehabbing is, quote, too hard, end quote, is the most millennial thing ever. Hashtag Andrew Luck. And then Troy Aikman last night at 9:14 p.m. Said, that's total bullshit, Doug. What qualifies you to decide how someone should live their life? So,
did he really say bullshit?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that.
So
I'm glad that he wasn't
You're now
too
the
PC.
authority on what motivates Andrew Luck, ? And if his decisions don't fit into what you think is best for him, then you rip him, ? Guess that keeps you employed on FS1, period. Nice.
Oh man, Troy. I love Troy Aikman.
Dude, Troy Aikman was actually, I found out from Brett Ernst that Troy Aikman is actually one of the most mobile quarterbacks in NFL history.
He was. He was able to move around pretty well.
I didn't think he was fast, and then
it's not necessarily fast, but he was definitely quick.
Oh, he could move.
He could move.
But I think one of the best mobile quarterbacks in the league right now is definitely Lamar Jackson.
If he stops being so predictable, right now, because as long as he plays consistently, it's no doubt in my mind it's still Cam Newton.
Early Vic, dude.
Honestly, Vic still had an arm. Lamar Jackson doesn't have as good of an arm.
Dude, Vic is probably the best mobile quarterback to ever play the game of football.
As of right now,
he was a running back with an arm.
If you take everything into account, I know a lot of people don't like him, and a lot of people will disagree with me. I had this conversation with my dad last night. It's Cam Newton. I'm sorry. Cam Newton has almost as many rushing yards. I think he's only 1,000 yards short. He's only 1,000 yards short of rushing. He has the most career rushing touchdowns by a quarterback ever. He passed up Steve Young.
He did that in
6
his
years
rookie year.
in. Well, he had the most in a season, but in his overall, because it's like 60 rushing touchdowns or some shit he's at right now, it took him a third of how long it took Steve Young to do it. And Michael Vick was still below Steve Young.
What about Randall Cunningham?
Nope, Randall Cunningham. He has more yards right now. He has the second most yards ever, but Cam Newton can easily pass him up in the next 2 years, if not 1 year.
Cam Newton's got a bad foot, dude. He's got a bad foot, bad shoulder. He can't take he's going to become a pocket passer in the next couple of years, I guarantee.
I don't think he will, at least to the extent that that Vic tried to be at the end of his career, because he took a lot of shots too, but at least Cam Newton's big, so he can take a couple more shots.
Would you consider, at this point, now that he's retired, would you consider Andrew Luck a bust?
No.
What about RG3?
Absolutely. You know why? Because RG3 got thrown into an even more shit situation because of Dan Snyder.
RG3 played 46 out of 112. RG3 has played 46 out of 112
possible regular season games. Yeah. And that's not completely his fault.
He's been in the league for 6 years.
Yeah, it's not completely his fault though, because Dan Snyder had some sort of he had a hard-on for RG3, and
He should have drafted Luck.
really, I mean, everyone should have drafted Luck if they had the chance, if they were able to trade up.
No, I think the best fit I don't think Luck was the best fit for Indianapolis. I think it was because I remember at that time of the draft that brought up the whole Ryan Leaf, Peyton Manning discussion again. Because it was who's going to go number one? Is it going to be Luck? Is it going to be RG3? They're both.
Well, same thing with Mariota and Jameis Winston.
Yeah,
who
they're
were both busts.
Yep. They're not busts.
Yes, they are.
I don't think Jameis Winston is. I think
Jameis Winston is fucking trash. I'm sorry, he's not good.
Not with Bruce Arians. No, he's going to have a different year this year. This is going to be his breakout year. I guarantee it.
He is about 3 years late to have a breakout year. I mean, trust me. Do I want him to do well? Yeah, I don't wish for any player to not succeed. But when you are so tragically inconsistent,
Fitzpatrick was tragically inconsistent and then had a breakout year.
Well, I understand, and it was too late for him. That's why he
can't. No, it wasn't. He's the starter of He's starting in Miami.
It's
now.
Miami. They just had Ryan Tannehill. Whoop de fucking do.
They have Josh Rosen too, who's actually a pretty decent quarterback.
He needs time to grow. He needs time to grow.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
He just needs a good system to play in.
Yeah, and Miami doesn't have that right now. They don't have enough of a supporting cast.
I fully believe that they have a good system.
They don't have enough of a supporting cast, and I don't trust that Miami is going to work for him first year.
They're going to compete for the AFC. They'll compete for the AFC East this year easily. Yes.
They'll compete for second place in the AFC East.
With Buffalo. It'll be them and Buffalo competing for second.
But that's like saying having two headless chickens fight each other is really that good of a battle.
Right, but no one's going to win the AFC East as long as Tom Brady's the quarterback.
Sure.
Or Bill Belichick's the coach.
But neither of them are still wild card teams. They're not.
Yes, they are.
No, maybe
yes,
Buffalo.
They are.
Maybe Buffalo if Josh Allen can take the leap, but I don't see him
Josh Allen took the leap last year. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Did you see his stats?
But did you see him fucking play?
Yeah, I did see him play, and you know what? I saw a lot of good things. But if you look back at the tape now, instead of being in the heat of the moment, if you look at the tape now, he is a good quarterback. He's about as good as Josh Rosen and Sam Darnold. And he has better legs than both of them.
Sam Darnold is better than both of them.
Sam Darnold,
when it comes to when it comes to passing, Sam Darnold is a better passer than both of those.
And I trust and I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that. But if you look at the passing stats, all of them are almost exactly the same, except for Josh Allen has better feet. But at the same time, I don't think any of those three quarterbacks are going to make a push. Now that they're all in the AFC East, too, that's going to make things more interesting. I don't think any of those three are going to be wild card contending quarterbacks until at least 2 to 3 years from now.
I don't know. I think the Jets have a great team. They got Le'Veon Bell in the backfield now. They got
if he can actually run behind that terrible offensive line. They have one of the worst offensive lines in the league, and Le'Veon Bell needs a good offensive line to be patient.
He didn't have one in Michigan his final year at Michigan State. He didn't have one his first year at Michigan State either, and he led the Big Ten in rushing yards.
That's college.
But still, it doesn't matter. He's still, like you said, he needs a good run of offensive line. He didn't have one for multiple years in college.
College is different, though.
Not by much for a quarterback transitioning to the NFL. Yes, it's different, but for a running back, it's really not different.
It's pretty different. I'm sorry. Because the thing is,
from a running back standpoint, it's really not.
When you have to make reads in against an offensive line, do I trust Le'Veon Bell to play well? Yes, because he is a veteran at this point. He can work with a worse offensive line than when he was younger. But you're trying to make reads against defensive players who are either never going to make it to the NFL or who are going to be maybe a top pick if they're lucky, versus guys who are in the NFL and have been established in the NFL. Of course, you're going to have rookies and inconsistencies no matter what defense you play, but you're trying to make reads against men versus boys. It's like in college, you are not going to be playing top-tier talent like you will in the NFL. Even if you play the worst team in the league, even if you play against the Cardinals every single week, you are still going to have to make better plays and be more consistent, and you're going to have to rely on your offensive line more than you ever would in college. That's why he was so good in Pittsburgh. And I'm not saying that Le'Veon Bell won't do well. I think he's going to get 1,200 yards, 10, 11 TDs, and he's going to get a couple more. He's going to get a couple hundred more receiving yards. But I don't think he is going to be the difference maker for Sam Darnold.
The majority of his years in Pittsburgh, he played behind a broken offensive line.
But still one of the best in the league.
Not the best. The best offensive line in the league is definitely in Dallas.
Eagles. Right now, it's
Right
the
now,
Eagles.
the Eagles. Yeah, I'll give you that.
And for the past 5 years, it's been between the Eagles and the Cowboys. They have had the two best
No,
offensive
the last
lines.
5 years, I'm gonna give it to Dallas. No matter how much I hate Dallas, Dallas.
You know why I give it to Philly first? They have way better tackles. Do I love the Dallas offensive line and wish for anything that they would stay together? Like if they would get past the injuries and all the.
I'll give it to the Eagles now because Travis Frederick is done. They don't have a center anymore in Dallas. They still got Zach Martin. They still got Lyle. Oh, is Lyle Collins down there still?
I don't think he is.
No, I think he is.
Is he? But either way, like they right now they went from having 5 out of 5 offensive linemen, like 5 solid to great offensive linemen, to having 2 to maybe 3.
Does Philly have a defense anymore?
They have an okay defense. Their linebacking core is still a little bit shaky, but they won the Super Bowl with a shaky offensive line.
They won the Super Bowl with
linebacker
a shaky team.
They did. Well, I think they're right now over the past 5 years they have been building one of the most consistently deep and well-versed like all-around team. They don't need to have superstars at every position to go far. They have they're like 3 deep in every position on both lines, so they never have to worry about an injury. Their linebackers are very specialized, and their secondary is super specialized. They do what they need to do, and they get through what they need to like have done. I feel like Philly should be the type of team to build around right now more than anything. Fuck trying to build around New England's scheme because Bill Belichick is a fucking black magician. Try and build around Philly because they are by far one of the best teams in terms of building a scheme around.
I'm going to say something bold right now. The best mobile quarterback is Ben Roethlisberger.
Fuck Ben Roethlisberger.
Dude,
I'm watching Dwayne Haskins.
You can make a good argument for that, honestly.
He's a good mobile. He's not a good running quarterback because he can move around the pocket.
He can
pump fake like a motherfucker.
That motherfucker is his own pocket.
The thing is, I actually when I was watching the rookie quarterbacks film, and I've been listening to more sports podcasts lately. I am not joking. Dwayne Haskins is like a clone of Ben Roethlisberger right now.
He is, dude.
He is straight up like same decision making. Well, sure. We'll see. We'll get to that point.
Oh, hey, don't say that. It's not because he's black.
No, I'm just saying in general because fucking NFL players are jocks and fucking stupid.
Yeah.
No, fucking.
Like,
I'm comparing him to a white guy who was raping. It has nothing to do with race.
Who was that one linebacker?
I said fuck Chinese people, not black people.
Who's that one linebacker? He was drafted either this past year or the year before, but the dude got caught in his house in L.A. with like a bajillion guns.
Fuck, I don't know.
Police called on his girlfriend because he like supposedly tried to beat the shit out of his girlfriend or some shit.
Fucked if I know.
It could be anyone.
Yeah, that could be a very.
I want to say he played for San Francisco. He was a newer draft.
Reuben Foster.
Yeah, Reuben Foster.
Yeah.
Reuben
I thought he was a lineman.
Foster. He is a lineman. He's
Okay.
a defensive
Oh,
lineman.
yeah, that's what it was.
He's drafted out of Oregon. He was fucking crazy, dude.
No, he had like, I think they said he had like 16 AR-15s.
16 AR-15s, 12 AK-47s, and over 200 handguns in his home.
Wow.
And then he got arrested. He didn't get arrested for the guns.
You can equip a small army with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
He got arrested for domestic abuse, and then when they went into his house, they saw everything just laying around, so they took it all.
Yeah, that's right. I remember hearing that story.
Yeah, you could definitely conquer an island with that amount of firepower.
Yes, and that is a perfect way actually to end today's episode.
You know what's funny? I just want to say one last thing. This one of my buddies who listens to the podcast really regularly. He's like, I like the podcast and I like when you guys talk about stuff, but when you guys start talking about sports and music, I just like, I don't necessarily tune out, but it is definitely not my favorite part. Like when you guys talk about it, you guys get so passionate and I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
I was like, when you guys were talking about football just now, I was like, whoa, is this what it's like hearing me talk about video games? Like, wow.
Yes, it is. That's, Kevin, whenever you talk video games with me at work and I go, interesting. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, dude.
Yeah,
so if you ever hear me go, interesting, explain it to me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely. He was just saying, it's like when you guys talk about sports, I can listen to it and I still enjoy it because I listen to you guys. I enjoy listening to you guys talk, which I appreciate that. But it's just like I don't understand. Like I just kind of am there listening. I'm not engaged.
With someone who like starts like
in like a room full of like a lot of people when someone starts talking like that, and you see all the looks from the different people. Like,
Yep.
that's how like
That's how I am everywhere I go.
I got a lot of those
People
looks
look at me,
today.
they're like, "Oh, this motherfucker doesn't know much," and then I start talking, they're like, "Okay, stop, like,
Yeah.
you know too much, you know more than you should know, motherfucker." Like, there was a time in high school I was so invested into football that I knew what athletes were like dating what other athletes and shit like
wow.
that, dude. I was.
Do you see
that-
Lindsey Vonn and PK Subban got
Yeah,
engaged?
I did see that.
How sweet.
Dude, she's been around the block, hasn't she?
I don't know.
She was with. Who was she with before him? Tiger Woods.
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah. I
think
forgot
that's
about
a
that.
step down because you go with someone who's he won the Masters after that.
Yeah, but PK Subban's one of the best players in the NHL.
Yeah, but Tiger Woods is one of the best. He's in my opinion the
PK's
best
got
golfer
some
of all
fucking
time.
Yeah, he's right there, but I don't know. Okay.
Yes,
End of the episode.
Thank you. Thanks for sticking around, stickheads.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
All right. Adios.
Laters.
Would you look at that? You made it through the episode. Well, I appreciate if you actually did listen all the way through, especially with all the garbage that it felt like trying to edit this for 2 hours. So to congratulate you for getting through this journey, here is some B-roll. Hopefully you guys enjoy.
Oh, dude, no, fuck you. Those are my titties, dude. Fuck you.
This microphone is the best. I love this microphone with all my passion, but it is a pain in the ass. Yeah. All of my passion. All 6 inches of passion.
Damn, dude.
6. Damn.
That's awesome.
All right.
Man.
I don't know why I said 6 inches. I was going to say 6 centimeters, but for some reason inches came out. Oh. Quick little test.
Your ad blocker is on.
Turn off your ad blocker! Turn off the ad blocker.
We want to make sure we show you all the ads, just like this one. Are you guys sick and tired of your braces? Or do you need braces and are just too afraid to get them? Well, let me tell you about Smile Direct Club.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, man.
Fuck those guys.
I have never had braces, thankfully. All right.
Fucking like these TV shows have like depicted and portrayed Italians based out of like, especially based out of Brooklyn and stuff, as like uniformly stupid and
yeah,
racist. Like
'cause they
in Jersey Shore.
Okay, so this is something extra special that I wasn't planning initially to put into this episode of B-roll, but I know that Nate's gonna hate it, so I'm gonna do it. This was the original pilot that he sent me before we even recorded the first episode of the podcast. It is super rough, and I believe we spoke a little bit about it when Danny was on the show. And I'm just gonna let you guys hear it. This is by far one of my favorite things that I've heard in a long time, so enjoy it.
What's up, everyone? It's your host, Nathaniel Finlay. This is the first ever episode of the Floor Chapstick Podcast. Why the name Floor Chapstick, you ask? Well, because chapstick on the floor picks up everything, and we're going to talk about a little bit of everything and anything here on this podcast. Starting off with the most recent obvious fact. It was the 4th of July most recently. It is the Saturday after that, so it is July 6th today. You'll be probably listening to this on the 7th or the 8th, so we'll try and keep up with that. I had, everyone spends their 4th of July with their family and stuff like that, so there's nothing much to delve into there. We're not going to talk all about my family, and for those of you who are listening who know me, you all know about my family and how crazy that is. Let's get into some national current events, man. Last night there was a 7.1 earthquake that hit the greater Los Angeles area, which is funny because it comes a day after a 6.4 hit the Los Angeles area as well. Actually, quick edit on that. The 7.1's epicenter was in San Jose area, and so we've got a 6.4 the day before and a 7.1 yesterday. And today they're been experiencing slow rolled 5.4, low 5 aftershocks. And a lot of my friends in LA who are living out there now and who have never seen an earthquake before are just like crap in their pants and stuff like that. And, you know, it makes me realize, do earthquakes not really happen as much as we think they do, or as much as society tells us they do? And earthquakes are, I don't know, they're dangerous, man. You don't want to be, I don't know where the safest place for an earthquake to be, where an earthquake would be is. I don't know. Safest place for an earthquake. I'll get back to you guys on that one. Safest place during an earthquake. Where do you guys think it is? Leave comments, send me a message, whatever, shoot me an email. We were going to do Trash My Fit, but I don't have any way to video record this podcast yet, so we're not going to do that. But I will tell you that if you wear like turquoise pants and a dark blue shirt, you look fucking ridiculous, man. That was me yesterday, so I looked fucking ridiculous yesterday. Sports headlines. If you live on a fucking rock, if you live under a fucking rock, you wouldn't know any of this. But the biggest headline of the sports year so far, well, sports season this summer, has been the free agent news with Kawhi Leonard and where he was going to go. If you're waking up this morning, you found out that he actually signed with the Los Angeles Clippers after winning a championship in Toronto last season. Along with that, he recruited Paul George as well. So him and Paul George will be joining Patrick Beverley and Lou Williams in that front court. Clippers are going to be good this year, man. The LA Clippers and LA Lakers rivalry is back. I'm super excited. My Lakers, baby, we got Anthony Davis, LeBron, Danny Green now, too, who's really underrated player. And our big three is actually LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Jared Dudley, of all people. Yeah, Jared Dudley, who I think Jared Dudley only averaged like 12 points a game last year, 3 assists. So we've got washed up superstars minus Jared Dudley's the only one who's washed up. I think Rondo is too. I really wish I had a guest for this. Let's get into some local headlines here. Just the other day here in Arlington Heights, someone was misusing their improper use of fireworks led to a house fire in a garage. No damage to the house was done, just the garage was badly burned. There was a golf cart crash near Antioch that sent 6 people to the hospital. How the fuck do you call 5 teens and 1 adult were injured, 2 seriously, in an unincorporated area near Antioch when a custom golf cart they were in flipped over on Thursday. Lake County Sheriff deputies were called to the area of Drexel and Lotus around 7:45 and discovered the crashed golf cart. According to the initial investigation, the golf cart was intended to seat 6 people and was being driven by a 17-year-old boy. There were 6 total people, one of whom was riding by standing on the back bumper of the car. The driver made a sharp turn that caused the car to roll, sending everyone flying. All 6 of them were hospitalized. They all range in ages from 11 to 26. 2 of them were seriously injured, and the driver was examined by paramedics but was not hospitalized. All right, we're back. But we're coming back to our what the fuck moment of the day. And our what the fuck moment of the day is actually something that happened to me. I went in for a haircut a couple weeks ago. And normally I get an undercut, which is it's shaved around the sides. I get a split line on the side of my head, so I can throw my hair over the other side of my head, kind of like the best way I could say it is like a Megan Rapinoe kind of haircut, if you guys know who she is. I went in to get my hair cut, and I told the lady, yeah, exactly like Megan Rapinoe, the soccer player. I went in there to get it, and I showed the lady the picture, because I normally after I get my hair cut, I take, left, right, front, and back picture of my hair so I can take it into the lady who, to someone, and hold on. Oh, I just had to let the little one squeak out. We're going to get a fart mic in here. Shout out to Tom Segura for that idea. Oh, I got to limit that shout out thing. I can't do that anymore. Anyway, so I went in, got my hair, showed my lady the picture of the haircut, and she's like, oh, yeah, Susan's not here today. My name's Karen, and I can help you. And I was like, okay, Karen, let's see what you can do. I go in there, we cut my hair, and normally my haircut takes about 20 minutes. It's quick, simple. But this lady took about an hour and a half, so I should have known something was wrong, right? But I didn't. I didn't bother to look or, ask her. I was just too busy. I wasn't sleeping. I was just out of it. I'm one of those guys who just stares at himself while he gets a haircut and hope it's over with. I fucking hate it. But it didn't go as well as I thought it would. At first, she gave me a bowl cut, and I was like, no, this can't work. And so, long story short, I didn't have to shave my head, but I probably should have, because now I look like Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. And I got, oh God, it's just, what the fuck. The dummy of the day and what the fuck moments are going to get better. This is just kind of off the cuff. I needed to get this done kind of thing here. We are not going to have a guest interview. You know what? Let me call someone and see if I can get him on the phone and see if we can do a guest interview with him real quick. All right, so unfortunately, we weren't able to get anybody on the phone. So I'm just going to wrap it up here with this. I've got some upcoming shows, guys. By the time this will be released, hopefully on Sunday, by tomorrow, Sunday, July 7th, I will be at the LOL Theater in Schaumburg at 7 p.m. Tuesday, the 9th, I will be at the Laugh Factory here in Chicago at 9:30 p.m. Wednesday, I don't have any shows. Thursday, though, guys. Thursdays, come on down to Jokes at Joe's in Villa Park. It's a great mic, one of my personal favorite mics. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm going to be at the Comedy Bar in the city. So why don't you guys come ahead and come on down, get some laughs. If you come down and you're a member of the podcast crew, you listen to the podcast, whatever, find me, let me know that you listen to the podcast, and I'll buy you a drink. Whatever drink you want, except no wine. I'm not buying anybody any fucking wine, you expensive motherfuckers. Come on down, have a drink, listen to some laughs, get to know me, get to know the other comics that we all hang out with. I'm not really good at outros, but I really want to make this longer, but I've only got about 10 minutes here before I need to get out of the studio and get on with my day. So I'm going to wrap this up here, guys. This has been the first episode of the Floor Chapstick Podcast. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you later.